New faces, same old expectations. How can the new D tackles help aid Houston's injured unit? Plus, one-on-one conversation with Tytus Howard.
You are Locked On Texans, your daily podcast on the Houston Texans. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Battle Red Nation, from H-Town to your town. Today's episode and every episode of the Locked On Texans podcast is for Texan fans all around. Fun show for you today. Biggest surprise during this win streak has it been a player side of the ball? Has it maybe been the fans who are really showing up tailgate-wise? We're going to stick to the football, of course. So we'll talk about who's been the biggest surprise to close out today's show. A quick one-on-one interview with Tytus Howard, just discussing the season overall, the Cardinals' victory, and some of the things that he has for himself as the leader of the Houston Texans offensive line. No Laremy Tunsil, all Tytus. How's it been going in 2025? But we got to talk about coaching them up and getting them ready. The new D tackle unit. Houston added Marlon Davidson and also Naquan Jones to the unit. Naquan got some love against the Arizona Cardinals. So we'll dive into that on today's show. Thank you to my everydayers from the Himalayas for making the Locked On Texan podcast your first listen of the day, and also for making the Locked On Podcast Network the number one podcast network in the nation. It's fun to say that because we put in a lot of great work, but we couldn't do it without you guys, and we know that, so thank you. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. Naquan Jones and Marlon Davidson, the new faces on the Texans D front. Yeah, we know that Houston is dealing with an injury back-to-back weeks. Tim Settle, Mario Edwards goes down. We got an opportunity to see Naquan Jones played in 16 snaps against Arizona. Good effort, 8 career sacks. He might be one of those can't go back guys, right? All hustle, does exactly what his assignment is asking of him to do, but he has been very solid against the run. Just looking at some of the things that he's done well from the inside D tackle spot, decent double team splitter. That seems to be his go-to move, a swim move. But he also, when he takes on a double team, does a good job of just beating them with quick feet, aids to his ability to split those double teams versus zone runs. I'm going to bring that back up before we close out today. Already played against the Raiders this year, so he has experience against that banged-up offensive line. Marlon Davidson, former second-round pick. He hadn't played NFL regular season snaps since 2023, missed the entire 2024 season with an injury. When he was really good in his career, he had Derrick Brown next to him during his time at Auburn. Obviously, no Derrick Brown here in Houston, but Tommy T and the guys on the outside should be able to, help when he gets a chance to get on the field. He is a very versatile player who has a little Danico Autry in him. Line up outside, can line up inside. Depending on the matchup, that's probably, that will probably determine where he fits. These are two journeyman players who have fallen into a great spot for themselves. All eyes won't be on them, right? These guys are going to have a defined role, and that role will be scattered throughout the game. This D tackle unit, they rotate a lot, so I think we'll see them in spurts, more so Jones than Davidson. But overall, these players are on a unit that features Will Anderson Jr., Daniil Hunter, and Houston's high school sports legend Rod Wright coaching them up. Every D tackle that has played on this team under Rod Wright as their lead defensive position coach has produced. Given the current state of the Raiders with their banged-up offensive line, struggling offensive line, it will be crucial to focus on attacking those zone runs. However, we should also consider how this can benefit the linebacker core. The Raiders rely heavily on zone runs for the year. The numbers between zone and gap runs are staggering in favor of zone runs. So for both the newcomers and the established players, taking away those cutback lanes, I think that'll help guys like Will Anderson Jr. get involved into the action. We know how good he is against the run because of his gap discipline, his zone discipline, where he needs to be. He'll typically be. Doesn't cheat too often to try to chase a sack. So if those D tackles on the inside, some of the quick feet, as I mentioned with Jones and how great Tommy T has played this year, set the rankings, those guys can take away some of those cutback lanes that may lead to big runs. Then look at the first level of success that we can possibly look at. Daniil and Will just being where they need to be. Danico Autry just being where he needs to be. Derek Barnett, who may see some time, being where they need to be. But also understanding that the two best attributes of both Henry T and Aziz have improved tremendously in coverage this year. But when they are able to just attack downhill, right? And so I'm looking at how these newcomers and the D tackle unit altogether can just help Houston in that way. So I'm looking forward to that. Among the newcomers, I think that we'll see Jones demonstrate his value with his role and time and opportunity. But also, guys, just put faith in Coach Wright to get the most out of Jones and Davidson. 5 D tackles have at least 1 sack for Houston this year, 16 tackles for loss with that unit. And if there's any player to point to look at and judge what this coaching staff does for its unknown guys, it's Tommy T. Career high this season, and he's blossomed into a player Houston needs to consider keeping here for some time. And these guys do it sharing snaps. That's why I think it's so when we talk about and judge, how good this defense is, those guys will rotate in and out every drive, every possession. Depending on what the down is, you'll see a new D tackle get in. And I think it's great that we saw Naquan play against the Arizona Cardinals. That's a better offensive line compared to what the Raiders got. And so hopefully if Houston can kind of put this game away early, maybe we can see Jones and Davidson get some of those reps later in the game to kind of give themselves additional ramp-up time as they come back for Saturday. Houston's going to need them against the Chargers and to close out the year as they get ready to take on the Colts in a couple of weeks as well. Now, when we come back, next up, interview with Tytus Howard. We talk about the Cardinals takeaways, O-line improvement, and more on the Locked On Texans podcast. Before we dive into that conversation, Texan fans, listen up. Listen good. The holidays are officially here, which means gift hunting season is on. And if you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction, Or Frames is the gift that delivers every time. It's not just something you wrap, it's a way to share memories, because Or isn't your average picture frame. No. You can pre-order the frame with photos before gifting it. So when they plug it in, the memories are already there. No apps to figure out, no setup headaches, just instant smiles. Grandparents, parents, newlyweds, anyone who loves photos, you can put the photos right there in Or Frames. Packaging comes gift ready, no price tag, no wrapping needed. That's a huge win. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting Aura Frames, that's AURA frames.com, to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code Locked On at checkout. That is AURA frames.com and code Locked On. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays, for Christmas, for your family, and for your loved ones. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Welcome back, Locked On Texans listeners and viewers. I have been working hard all week to make sure I can kind of dock up this audio. The audio was a little funky at first, but I was able to get the most out of it. Me and Tytus Howard had a very good conversation after the game. It was brief. It's about 7 minutes. But I thought the important takeaways were just looking at how this group has progressed throughout the year. That's extremely important. Dan Orlovsky on ESPN, and it's starting to spread, right? It's starting to spread like one of those theories that start to spread to different minds. But they've called this unit the most improved offensive line unit in the NFL. So that's a positive to hear from a unit that was extremely bad last year, right? The quarterback got hit a ton of times, a ton of sacks, right? But just looking at what Tytus Howard has done for Houston this year, 0 sacks on the year, only 15 pressures allowed on the year, only 15 hurries allowed on the year. And he's done so playing right guard, right tackle, but over the course of the last 4 games, left guard. So he's, continuing to be versatile, continue to be the player that Houston can lean on. And for the Houston Texans, he needs to clean up on them penalties for sure. But for the Houston Texans, this has been by far his best season. Pro Bowl season, maybe. All-Pro season, maybe. Let's hear from Tytus Howard.
One of the real dominant performances for you guys up front today on the offensive line. Over 130 yards on the ground. A great average per pop. C.J. Stroud not hit a lot. What went into the game plan this week to allow you guys to be as successful as you were?
We just knew there was going to be a lot of different looks. So we just focused all week on everybody just try to be on the same page, calling out everything we see. Don't hold that, no matter if they know what we do it or not. We just try to be on the same page. Because we are on the same page, we go wherever they bring us. So we did a good job of that.
How do you feel like the progression has been for the offense over the last couple of weeks with C.J. Stroud returning in conjunction with Nick Kelly's progression as a first-year play caller?
Yeah, man. Since C.J.'s been back, man, he's hit the ground rolling. He's made some phenomenal plays. He's holding offensive a high standard and keeping guys going, trying to be on everybody, make sure everybody was in small details. We just got to continue to get better. I think that's something we've been doing as the season went along. We just got to keep getting rolling with the win streak.
I've been wanting to ask you this for a while now. This is the first year where you are the lead leader. There's not a vet over you for this offensive line, at least not tenured. How do you feel like you've done personally stepping into that role this year?
I think I did a good job. It's always room to grow. But, I try to hold the guys to a high standard. This offensive line has the potential to be really good. We now getting a whole lot of games with the same starters in, so we're just getting that building that camaraderie. We're going to get on and better as the season goes on. But I'm just trying to do my best to be a positive influence for all the young guys. So we've got a lot of young guys on the team, so we're just trying to learn and get better.
Speaking of the young guys, when you came into the league early in your career, you had LT, Lambert Thompson. You picked up a lot of games from him. What have you been able to take from his time, from your time with him, to give to the rookie Ariante Urshan?
Stay raising. It's going to be trials and tribulations come along, man. Everything will be perfect, man. Just finding that one thing you try to get better at. Chase does a job of getting better each and every week. He's doing a great job. Put with a hard task, a lot, so he's the left tackle. For a team that got a very good franchise quarterback, so all eyes are going to be over him.
Y'all leave him on the island a lot.
On the island a lot. So I think he's taking the fight to guys, and he's done a great job with the cards he's been dealt. So he's only going to get better. And for him to be doing this in his rookie year, I can only imagine how he's going to be 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah.
Obviously, Houston wants and needs you around for that time frame, so you can make sure you see him through. But what are some areas in this offensive line unit altogether that, as the leader, you just want to see you guys improve and be better at, or more consistent?
I think for us, it'd be the third down and ones, the short yardage.
The short yardage.
We all just gotta be better, man. We gotta we're a big offensive line. We just gotta move guys. We gotta play with better technique. Like today, like I say for myself, I had a run where I went down too far and had my head down and got swam outside. Just stuff like that. We just gotta play more clean when we get in those situations. Because like first down, second down, we be moving guys. But we get a third and one, we gotta maintain our technique. We play more consistent and the crucial downs like that.
Another young guy that you've been around for the last couple of years, Jawad Jordan. We don't get a chance to see him a lot throughout the week. The fans don't get a chance to see him a lot throughout the week, but it's called up. And this was Houston's first 100-yard rusher on the year. Kudos to you guys once again. But what has it been about Jawad Jordan? Him just staying ready, but y'all love that toss play. His vision, his ability to kind of bounce back. What has it been about Jawad Jordan to make him special?
Jawad's explosive. His vision, his cuts are all explosive. He's a great running back, man. We all knew when we knew he was coming in to go play this week. We all knew, like, hey, we do what we're supposed to do. We know what you're working. We see him practice against the starting defense all the time. The cuts, the plays he made against those guys, and some of the plays he made this week on practice. Like our coach emphasized that, hey, you got a block for this guy over here. He's gonna see it, and he's gonna make something happen. And as soon as he got in the game, we saw it from the first play that we knew that he was gonna be special. So hoping that we continue to get some carries. I know that he can help us out.
You got Woody, you got Gerard, Nick Chubb eventually come back. Darray scored last week. Y'all are getting hot at the right time. What does it feel like? Like the playoffs are around the corner. I know y'all don't really want to talk about it too much, but how does that feel? Just get it more balanced and hot at this time.
Yeah, it feels good, man. We ever play good football. This is the real part of the season. It's a playoff push. So we're just taking a weekend at a time. Just trying to focus on the opponent we're playing, and when we do that each week, it's gonna be good for us, man. We control our own destiny. So if we play the football that we supposed to play, it don't matter who we play. So we just gotta continue to get better every week. Like, we gotta go in tomorrow, watch the film. We put up 40 points. I feel like we left a lot of points out there.
Yeah, it's been a theme for a few players and coach. D'Amico as well.
We could have had 50-something, 60. So we just gotta go watch and see what we can correct. So next week we play the Raiders, we can try to do it again.
Y'all looking for 50 against the Raiders?
No, I'm not gonna say.
It's okay.
I'm not gonna disrespect those boys.
Absolutely.
That's a team that got some great players on it also.
Max Crosby, gotta get ready for him.
We're gonna get ready to play, and we're gonna be trying to put a lot of points up.
Last question. With the overhaul of the offensive line coming into the offseason, that included a new offensive line coach being promoted to full-time offensive line coach. What has Cole Popovich's message been to you guys and his coaching style to get this offensive line? A lot of people, especially nationally now, feel like it's the most improved offensive line in the league.
Yeah, Cole's, man, I think the biggest thing with him is the mentality. He's going to be the same guy every day. He's going to be, I want to kick your ass. I want to play with great technique, in the pass pro, but in the run game, I want to fuck. So, that's the thing that he emphasized every single day. He's not changing who he is, so if you're not with that, you're not going to play. So he just, instilled that into every other day. Every day, and he do it for the whole offense. Everybody respect him. Great coach. He's helped me get better. And obviously, I'm having one of the best years of my career.
Pro Bowl year?
That's what we got to get.
All pro year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He's helped me. He's helped me become a better player. And I just got a lot of respect for him because no matter if it's me, or Dante, or whoever it is, he's going to treat all of us the same and one of the best players.
I think it's important to just highlight Tytus Howard in his role this year. We look at the previous years for Tytus Howard: 6 sacks in 2024, 41 pressures allowed, 32 hurries allowed. And again, that was a year for him where he was shifted between right tackle and left guard. Same this year. Right tackle, right guard, left guard. And what he's been able to produce for Houston, all while everything else around him has been chaotic, putting him back over at the left guard spot, I think has really given Houston a solid foundation for the offensive line, where now the young buck on the left side of him, on the outside of him, has someone he can trust on the inside and communicate with and pick his brain. And then Andrews really benefits from having Tytus Howard on his side. And when I say that, if we can look at some of the things that's been going on since Tytus Howard has moved over from right tackle to left guard, since the Buffalo game, Ariante Ursery 1 sack, under 4 pressures per game, only 4 QB hits in that time span. Jake Andrews, 0 sacks, 1 pressure since Tytus Howard has moved over to left guard. It's working out. It is working out, and I think more so it's working out for the quarterback play, which, again, D'Amico Ryans has called C.J. Stroud the most improved. He says this is the most he's seen him improve this year during the last couple of games. He's playing some really good football, improving on the things that they're asking of him to improve on. So it's a good thing. When we come back, who's been the biggest surprise, or what's been the biggest surprise during this win streak? NFL Sundays are moving fast. One big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. A receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a huge turnover. And FanDuel lets you jump right into the action. Live spreads, money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys get hot. You can bet the next touchdown score, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long, including the playoffs. FanDuel, the game moves fast, so you can too. Closing out this weekend episode of the Locked On Texans podcast, the biggest surprise of for Houston during this win streak, for me, I think it has been how Houston has been able to consistently just find ways to win ball games in the fourth quarter. I've been very impressed by that, guys. They've been really impressive. You got 13 fourth quarter takeaways defensively, 61 fourth quarter points, and this was a offensively challenged team. They've been able to put up 10 three times during this stretch of games, including the 28 fourth quarter comeback capped off by Sheldon Rankins in the fourth quarter against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then I also want to just look at how Frank Ross said, hey, listen, if y'all ain't going to use Jalen Noel on the offensive side of the ball, don't worry about it, man. Don't even worry about it. I got a route for him that I think can help us out in a big-time way. 333 kick return yards in the last 5 games for the Houston Texans for Jalen Noel. Just got to look at how good he's been, man. How good he's been for the Houston Texans in the special team game. And also because of Jalen Noel's addition this year, we got to look at Houston right now, one of the best starting field positions this season, third with 33.1. And a lot of that has to do with how Jalen Noel, when he's gotten his opportunity, because it's been seldom a lot this year, Houston's still trying to figure out who they want to put back there, but he's settled into the role as the guy. But he's been very impactful for Houston this year in special teams. So I think the biggest surprise for me, special teams started to break down at one point. I think Jalen Noel has been able to revitalize them a lot in the return game. But also you just look at how Houston has been able to defend kick returns over the course of the last couple of weeks. That's improved. Saw Jamal Hill get a cause a fumble on the return last week on Houston's first defensive drive. Gave Houston the ball back with great field position. So that's a good thing. Then also just looking at how in the fourth quarter of a lot of these games where earlier in the year it's going either way, it could have went the way that it did against LA or Tampa or even the Jacksonville Jaguars the first go around. We could talk about how crucial, by the way, it was for Houston to win that second Jacksonville Jaguar game. But this is a unit that I think we've seen adjust. Right? I think Nick Caley has adjusted. We've seen Frank Ross adjust, but you look at how they've been able to win a lot of these one-score games. It's been defensively not allowing teams to have opportunities consistently in the fourth quarter, taking the ball away, giving Houston the opportunity to stick around in a lot of these games. But the surprise week in and week out, even though we've called on them to, do more and help Houston a lot more, mainly throughout the game, just how Houston has been able to kind of finish these fourth quarters. That's been very impressive during this win streak. And then we look at the overall just season, man, just 13 fourth quarter takeaways. How much of that has aided Houston into being able to stick around in a lot of these games. So shout out to the Houston Texans. Shout out to Miko Ryans. We got a big game tomorrow. Houston needs to win this game and make sure that they control their destiny. What does that mean? You don't give anybody else any opportunity to jump you in the standings. And I don't think this is going to be the Arizona type game, especially not early on. Good defense over there, respectable defense rather, for the Raiders. Where it can get tricky is, and I can't wait to see how they come out. The defense didn't feel like they played to their standards against Arizona. That's well documented. D'Amico Ryan said it. A couple of players in the locker room said it after the game. So I am very interested to see how the Houston Texans defense comes out to take over their game and game record. And really more so the D-line. I was capping a couple of weeks ago. All pro talk, who's better than who. But it's been quiet out there for them boys on that edge. So we want to see them dominate. Thank you for watching this weekend episode of the Locked On Texans podcast. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on YouTube wherever you listen to your podcast. Follow me on Twitter at John_Hickman12 and also on Instagram at Some Sports Guy. Enjoy your weekend. We got a big game tomorrow. I'll see y'all Monday.